Today marks a big day for Elden Ring players out there. Today we got a bunch of new information regarding Elden Ring Nightreign. So in this video, guys, we're going to break down all of the new gameplay and what the game is about and what the classes do and everything that you need to know before playing Elden Ring Nightreign. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So Bandai Namco invited over some content creators and or influencers to try out the Elden Ring Nightreign, pretty much like the network test that is coming out this weekend for those of you that were lucky enough to get access to it. So today they were able to show a lot of new gameplay and details about the game, and I gotta say, I cannot wait for May 30th. So yes, today they announced that May 30th is the release date for Elden Ring Nightreign. There is currently 3 editions right now. They got the standard edition, the deluxe edition, and there is a collector's edition, I think exclusively only on Bandai Namco's website. And they did point out that there will be additional DLC after the game's release, so that's one good thing to note there. So after Elden Ring Nightreign, after everything that we get to do in that game, there will be additional content following the release. Now let's actually talk about the actual gameplay that you get to do in Elden Ring Nightreign. So for the network test, you get to choose from 4 Nightfarers, which are essentially like hero-based classes. You have Wilder, Recluse, Duchess, and the Guardian. But in the full release of Elden Ring Nightreign, there will be 8 characters in total to choose from. And then after that, you get to drop into your run, which is essentially day 1 night, day 2 night, and then day 3 or night 3, which is fighting the Night Lord. Now essentially what you get to do is you can team up with your teammates, and then you essentially are trying to survive the circle, kind of like a battle royale, but it's not like a battle royale, if that makes any sense. So you drop in and you can loot the area. In the network test, there's going to be 2 different maps, but in the full game there's going to be many more and more random sub-locations that you can drop into. But the name of the game is to upgrade your character and to also get better loot. So in Elden Ring Nightreign, there's not specific stats that you level up. Each hero or Nightfarer will have a individual just level system, so every time you rest at a site of grace, it'll still restore your health, FP, and your flash charges, but you can just simply press a button and it'll just level up your character depending on how much XP that you've earned between your site of grace runs. Now, the way the loot works in Elden Ring Nightreign is every time you find a chest or loot items out in the world, that is all shared loot that you can share with your teammates. But for any of the field bosses or the major bosses like the night bosses, then that loot is specific to you and you'll have to divvy up some of the loot amongst your teammates. But you can pick up items, and if there's a certain item that you don't want or that could benefit your teammate better than you, you can certainly drop it and your teammates will be able to pick that item up. Now, the way the weapons are in Elden Ring Nightreign is that any of the Nightfarers can use any of the weapons. All there is a weapon level requirement. So if there's a weapon level that's let's say a level 7, but you're currently a level 3, then you cannot currently wield that weapon, but you can hold it on into your inventory until you reach that level, and then that way you can use that weapon. But any of the Nightfarers and or classes can use any of the swords, any of the staves, any of the daggers, great swords, any of that stuff, unless you meet that level requirement. And the way that the loot is, or the weapons are in Elden Ring Nightreign, is that some of them can have passive buffs, some of them can have innate damage types such as holy, or put bleeding effects or anything like that, and there's color coded loot to indicate how powerful that weapon is according to the game's logic. So of course you got your blue that's like rare, and then you have like purple that's like epic, and there's like an orange color that's like legendary that you can pick up. So it has different rarities for some of the different weapons that you can get in this game. Now I want to talk about some of the general mechanics for Elden Ring Nightreign. So as you can see in the background gameplay, the movement in the combat is by far not what we're used to in traditional Elden Ring, and that is because the Nightfarers also have abilities and or ultimates that they can use to their despair, and we also don't have, and drumroll please, there's no fall damage in Elden Ring. Yes, we have a Souls-like, or not a Souls-like, we have a Souls game without fall damage. Yes, you can fall off the highest point of Limgrave or wherever, and you will not take damage. So that is a great addition when traversing the environment. So one thing to take note is that there is no fall damage in this game. And another key note that I wanted to take note is that your teammates, when they get down, you can revive them, but in Elden Ring Nightreign, it's not your traditional hold a certain button and revive your teammates. You have to deal damage to your teammates. So as you can see in the background gameplay here, my teammate is down, but as I do attacks on them, then they will revive, but the more times you get down, then the longer it takes to get back up. So it will take more hits if your teammate continuously goes down during your run. Now, as the day comes to a close, when you get to the final circle of the Nightreign, there's some enemies that you'll have to dispatch really quickly, and then you'll face the night boss. And some of these bosses you'll recognize, but for this one, for example, this is one of those demi-human bosses, but it has been confirmed that some of these bosses will have some new moves and play a little bit more aggressively, so it'll be a little fresh take on some of these familiar enemies. And then once you dispatch the night boss, you do a quick little celebration, and then you can collect what's called a dormant power, and this is a permanent buff that is applied to your Nightfarer, and then you can go to a site of grace, level up what you've earned from defeating the boss, and then I love how this transition goes. It just turns into a white fog, and then day 2 starts and you start the cycle all over again. And now once players defeat the day 2 or night 2 boss, then you'll be teleported to this kind of like forbidden realm, and then there will be a site of grace that you can level up all your gear at, level up your characters, and do everything you need to do before facing on the Night Lord. And in the network test, there is currently one Night Lord that you can battle, and it is this 3-headed Cerberus-like enemy with a giant sword on its back. I wonder what that could be a reference of, but you are going to fight this guy, and he's got some challenges to him. So this will be our first kind of like brand new boss that players can play against. And then once you defeat the final Night Lord, then you get what's called a relic. Now what a relic is it is a permanent buff that you can slap onto your Nightfarer, and each relic has a different color coding to them, and each of the heroes or Nightfarers will have certain colors to them because not all of the Nightfarers can use all of the relics. So you'll have to match each color of the relic to each hero, and of course the more relics you obtain, the more powerful that your Nightfarer will get. Now I want to end this video with my general thoughts based on all of the information that I have gathered and all of the gameplay that I am seeing, and I just want to kind of just put together a synopsis of what Elden Ring Nightreign is for and what kind of Elden Ring player it is intended for. And I gotta say that it's pretty much made for the Elden Ring veteran, the true people that love RPGs, and you know, for those people that have played Elden Ring, played the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree expansion, will know how to play Elden Ring Nightreign, especially with all of the, you know, movement buffs and the different mechanics that Elden Ring Nightreign introduces. Elden Ring Nightreign, in my opinion, should have felt like a expansion more than a standalone game, because for instance, like if someone that has never played Elden Ring is playing Elden Ring Nightreign and is learning all of these different mechanics, which it's similar in some ways because of course it's an Elden Ring title, but you have all these different abilities, you're managing your FP and your stamina pretty differently, and then you go play original Elden Ring and the expansion, and it kind of feels off. So for those people that haven't really truly played Elden Ring, they might have a great time playing this game, but if they try to go back to traditional Elden Ring, they might have some trouble. But all in all, I gotta say, I am super stoked. You guys know I love Elden Ring. I've made so many build videos, and one of my top most viewed videos is the astrologer guide that you guys all have pretty much half my subscriber base have subscribed from. So when it comes to Elden Ring Nightreign, you're damn right that I'm going to be playing this on day one. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to get access to the network test, so I greatly do apologize. I set up 3 different emails just to try and sign up, and I was not picked. I did not get any response from Bandai Namco. So unfortunately, I will not be streaming this weekend, and any of the other dates. I've tried contacting them, and I've tried, responding to social posts, but nothing's working. They just handpick their bag of people that were able to get it. So, but when May 30th, 2025 comes around, I will be playing this day one, and of course, I got you guys covered with all sorts of guides, what loot to look out for each individual class, and all that jazz. So, stay tuned for another video. If you guys want more Elden Ring Nightreign videos and content, of course, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will be making another video kind of going over all of the different characters and what they do, all of their passives and skills and ultimates. So stay tuned for that video, but I will catch you all in the next one. Deuces.